and I'm just going to say this again. Yesterday we got to cross multiply because I can real quick cross multiply. I can cross multiply and say this is 9 and that is 4 times 2 is 8. I know this is a small one. However, the reason we're not doing that way today is because we're going to be adding fractions like 2/3 plus 3/4, where you must get the common denominator. So we are going to do the common denominator method today. I need to see some work. So here we go. This side is pretty easy because they're telling you the common denominator. So I can do the common denominator 2 ways. Because I'm just finding least common multiple, I'm going to do a list method. You don't necessarily have to do it on this side, but we will on the other. In other words, I've got a 3 and a 4, and I just use the larger number. Does 3 go into 4 perfectly? No. That means no, I do not have my common denominator. So today you are finding a common denominator. Even though on a lot of these, we're not going to do it because they already gave it to us. But I want you to see how they got the 12. So I just keep on finding multiples of 4 until that 3 goes into it. 4 and 4 is 8. Does 3 go into that? Nope. Add another 4. 12. Does 3 go into 4?
Yes.
Yes. Stop. Once I say yes, 3 goes in that. 12 is my common denominator. And that's what they gave you right here. So on this one, I can go 4 times 1, 2, 3. So right here, I'm going to put that little that dot is a time sign. So 3 times 3 is what? 9. And always double check the bottom. 4 times 3 is 12. Then over here, if I had done this all the way like 3, 6, 9, 12, it takes me forever working with the small number. But had I done that, I would have seen it took me 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and that would have told me that I multiplied this by 4 and the numerator by 4. But we know 3 times what number is 12? 4. So you don't have to do that all the time. So 3 times 4 is 12, 2 times 4 is 8. Before I tell you what to do with those, let's do a couple more right here. So we're converting, never mind, I'm going to go back. So we just took 2/3 and we converted it to what? 8/12. So I'm going to cross this out and I'm going to put that's 8/12. We just took 3/4. I don't want you to copy exactly what I'm doing. We took 3/4 and we converted it to the equivalent fraction of what? 9/12. So I'm going to cross it out and put 9/12. So this is how we're comparing today. We're getting the common denominator, and now you just look at the top number. That 8 is what compared to the 9? Smaller. So by the way, the smaller gets how many dots? It gets 1 dot. The larger number gets 2. And then you can connect them. And you are right. 8/12 is less than, it's like a crooked 11, a crooked L. So it gets, you circle this. So for the number 1, you're going to put the letter E. Then let's do a couple more, and then I'm going to go down to this one where they don't have a second one. So they're converting the 4 and the 5 to 20ths. So 4 times what gives me 20? So I want to see the little 5, and if I do it on the bottom, we do it on the top. So what's this fraction going to be? 5/20. So we converted 1/4 to 5/20. Then this second fraction, 2/5. 5 times what is 20? 4. So I can do this by 4 and 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 2 times 4 is 8. And there's actually a little, so I'm converting this one to 8/20. So now 5/20 is what compared to 8/20? So it gets 1 dot, and this one gets 2. I can do it outside my little circle. It's okay. Just gives me a nice big inequality sign. So that is the less than. I like this one. And that little, can you see that blue thing going up and down over there on the right? That means that's recording. I'm so excited.
Are you going to watch it later?
I'm probably going to, well, another one is coming. But the nice thing about this one is I can, it's got, oh my gosh, look at this. Okay, I can like thickness. I can say, okay, oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Like, look at this problem. Like, look at that. And I can erase that. So there's lots of things that I can do with this one, where the one that's coming tomorrow, I can't. And this one I can actually flip up and record my face if I want to say hello in the video, but I don't want to do that, scare people. So right now, this is a winner.
Are you going to keep on using this one?
So far, because I've used the other one many times, but unless it's an updated model, I don't recall it having, you can't see it on yours, but it's got all different kinds of, like I can write on it, I can change the color, I can put letters, you can't see it there, but I can put letters and all kinds of things. So this is sort of like the keeper so far, and it was cheaper. The other one was like 240, this is 135.
Oh.
So, money talks. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at it. Oh, and by the way, that is the number 2 then gets the letter O. The number 2 gets the letter O. Then let's go down to this one. Okay, wait a second, there's nothing here. Well, let's see why. Because it was a 4 and a 16. And they're saying that the common denominator for both is 16. Doesn't 4 go into 16? So we don't have to change the 11/16. We just have to change the 3/4. So that's what they're doing here. So, and here's a little shortcut I will allow you to take. 4 times what will give us 16?
4.
So we can just put like a 4 for both of them. Will that work? Instead of putting a 4 and a 4, we can just put 1 4, and we know it goes to both of them. 4 times 4 is 16. 3 times 4 is what? 12. So we've converted that 3/4 to 12/16. So 12 is what compared to 11?
Bigger.
Bigger. So it gets 2 dots. The smaller one gets 1. And the bigger, here's the greater than symbol. So we're going to be circling the U, and that goes to number 6. And here it is. This is going to be a good one. This is a truth. This is a truth. What happens if you watch TV all day? You will find out. Then let's flip it over to the back. So, please do not show work on any other paper. If you need to show work, you're going to do it right here. Now, I'm going to look for, are there any with the same denominator? Same denominator, because we're comparing also on this one. Same, right here. So there's nothing I need to do. So for each exercise, compare the fractions, write greater than or less than. So the 3 I don't even have to look at. 6 is what compared to the 5? Bigger. So guess what? This is going to get the greater than symbol, which we will grade tomorrow. But this worksheet is a little different. It says circle the letter above the larger number. So here's the larger opening. I'm going to circle this. So this number 9, guess what letter we're going to put?
U.
And everywhere we see a 9. So here's a U. Is there another 9? No. Okay. So now here's where the work begins. Number 1, you may not just cross multiply. I must see. If I don't see the equivalent fractions, you have a 0. I must see the full, yes, Anthony. Everyone needs to show the full work. So and I'm going to do the work like this. If I'm doing least common denominator, I'm going to just make the little list. I'm going to put a 3 and a 5 and ask myself, does 3 go perfectly into 5? No, we do not have our common denominator. So I'm going to put another 5. 5 and 5 is 10. Does 3 go into 10 yet? No. Add another 5. Does 3 go into 15?
Yes.
Once you say yes, yes, that's our new denominator. And we're going to put our new denominator right here. And And we're going to show work. Watch carefully, so keep up with me. Everything I'm writing, you need to write. 3 times what will give us 15? So I'm going to put my little 5 here. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 5 is what? Is 10. That's my new equivalent fraction for this. Then over here, 5 times 3 is what? 15. And I'm going to put my little 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So we have 10 fifteenths. And I should have probably put the 3 here so it doesn't mess up that. But anyway, 10 is greater than 9. So it gets 2 dots. This one gets 1. And the larger fraction is the 10 15, which is the y. Very good. So everywhere you see a 1, you're going to put the letter y. Is there a 1? Oh, here's a y right here. And there's no more 1s. Let's go down to this one. Okay. The 15. I don't have to look at the 2 because the 2 and the 2 are the same. But I have to look at the half and the 7th. Are those the same denominator? So again, if you don't know how to get it, I always put them in order from least to greatest. There's another way we did least common multiple, but if I'm only looking for least common multiple or least common denominator, I just make my little list. It's very quick. Does 2 go into 7 perfectly?
No.
No. So do a multiple of 7. 7 and 7 is what?
14. Oh.
Does 2 go into 14?
Yes.
Stop. That's your new denominator. Put your new denominator. I don't even have any room here. Can I squeeze it in here? I'm going to have to. 14 and 14. Okay. So 2 times what gives us 14? 7. So I'm going to multiply 1 times 7. 7 times 1 is 7. Okay. Then this one. 7 times what gives me 14?
2.
So I'm going to multiply that 4 by 2. And you can put it on either side, just in a place where it doesn't get in the way of your new fraction. So 2 times 4 is 8. So 2 and 7 fourteenths is what compared to 2 and 8 fourteenths? Smaller. The 7, it gets 1 dot, and this one gets 2. So which letter are we going to circle this time?
D.
The larger. Very good. So the 15, everywhere you see a 15, you get the letter D. And I think there's going to be a couple. So here's a D. Here's a D. And that's it. Okay. Then let's look at this one. Which package is heavier? So I may be going to move that. I'm comparing this one with this one. So I'm going to move it down here. 1 and 3/4 and 1 and 5/8. Okay. Who knows? Oh, well, in fact, I'll do it like this so you can see. Every time you say yes to this question, you've got your new denominator. Does 4 go into 8 perfectly?
Yes.
Stop. Your 8 is your new denominator. So do I have to change this 1 and 5/8? Nope. We just have to change this one. So our new denominator is 8. 4 times what will give us 8? So I'm going to put a little tiny 2 here. 3 times 2 is 6. And I'm going to cross this out so we can see we've got 1 and 6/8. And by the way, slow me down. Anytime I'm going to Tabasco, and from the back, like make a T. Time out. Okay. So we have 1 and 3/4. 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 2 is 6. So we've got 1 and 6/8 and 1 and 5/8. Which one of them is, in fact, this one's going to get 1 dot or 2 dot? It's going to get 2. This one's going to get 1. You almost had to put these together because one's on top and one's on the bottom. You can't make that. So here's our symbol. Which letter are we going to circle? The R. That was the greatest one. So wherever you see a 16, you're going to put the letter R. So 16, 16, here we go. 16R, 16R. Oh, there's lots of R's. 16R, RR. That's what a pirate says, RR. And I think that's it. Do I need to go over any others? Okay, girls and boys, listen carefully. This is the easy side. I would not start with that side because doesn't this one give you help right away? Don't do that one right now. Start with this one. So this way you can sit with each other and you can work it out together. Does that make sense? Okay, girls and boys, you can team up if the 3 guys want to sit together and the 3 girls want to sit. That's okay too. Okay? Have a good day. And let's look at your time to see how much time. Make sure I don't have to change the lesson. Oh, we've got plenty of time. We've got 23 minutes. Lots of time to do your work. Okay, you may begin. And CJ, could you do me a favor and go ahead and turn on the light? And anybody not here, you have a good day. Send me an email if you didn't understand anything. Goodbye.